What's going on? This is the Marvelous One, the stock man. Hey, I told you I was going to make a video comparing Ethereum to the S&P 500. And Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency coin on the market. The difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum is Bitcoin is more like digital gold. It's a store of value. And Ethereum is more like an informational blockchain that all the information will have to go through this blockchain, just like we're doing right now with the internet. The Ethereum is going to usher in the new Web 3. Right now, the internet is Web 2, just to give you a little background. But let's compare the price over the last 5 years, or not the price, let's compare the return on your money over the last 5 years. So over the last 5 years, Ethereum would have returned you 1,065%. The S&P 500 would have returned to you 93% over the last 5 years. And just to refresh you, the S&P 500 are the top 500 companies on the stock market, right? Most of people's 401s have exposure to the S&P 500 because the S&P 500 for the last 80 years has returned roughly around 8 to 10%. So it's been a good place to park your money. But you can see that cryptocurrency, the number one and the number two, Bitcoin and Ethereum, has had a larger return over the S&P 500. Now, with that said, the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin and the Ethereum, has been very, very volatile. That 1,000% was not a straight up, right? Really, no investments is not a straight up. But one thing about the crypto, it has a big swing, right? It swings, but it's been the best performing asset. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum has been the best performing assets over the last 5 years. And I really believe, and this is just my personal opinion, this is not financial advice, I look for a really, really big swing up in Ethereum over the next 5 years. I even think by the end of this year, Ethereum is trading around a little bit over 4,200. I can see Ethereum getting up to 6,000 per coin, and then 8,000 per coin, and then 10,000 per coin. It depends on supply and demand and what big institutions are going to be doing. And right now they are buying the hell out of Ethereum, right? So they can drive that price of Ethereum, like I said, up to 10,000, maybe even 12,000 a coin. Like, this is not financial advice. This is just me researching on my own and me listening to people that's smarter than me, that's very, very smart. People like Tom Lee. Look him up. Google who is Tom Lee. Tom Lee is a guru. He's really big on Bitcoin, and he's really big on Ethereum. Matter of fact, Tom Lee, not the stock man, Tom Lee believes that Bitcoin is going up to $250,000 per coin in this cycle by the end of the year or the beginning of the first quarter of next year. And Tom Lee, not the stock man, said that he could see in a bull run that Ethereum could go up to 15,000 per coin in a bull run. And his projections by 2030 is that institutions are really, really going to start pouring into Ethereum, and that could push Ethereum up to almost $60,000 per coin. And look, I've been in this game before. I know those numbers sound crazy right now, but just like when I was telling people about Bitcoin in 2016, 2017, When it was around $3,000 per coin, $5,000 per coin, $10,000 per coin, I was telling people, hey, you know, I was telling them what I was doing. I was telling them, hey, I'm putting some pennies into uh, Bitcoin, and because I believed through my research that Bitcoin was going to go to 100,000. And as you may have heard in some of my previous videos, of course, I got laughed at. And of course, you know, people was like probably saying behind my back that guy don't know what he's talking about. Hey, that's okay too. You know I put in the time, I put in the research, I study this stuff, uh, and I just try to educate people, try to have a general conversation with the general working class people because, hey, they shut you out on a lot of this stuff, right? You really don't have time to even research this stuff because they keep us working because everything's so expensive, right? So the stock man, I'm just out trying to drop a little knowledge, give you a little education. Uh, I do challenge you. Look up, Google Bitcoin. Google what is Bitcoin. Google what is Ethereum, right? Uh, Educate yourself. And I always say this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial planner or advisor. You know, I'm just a guy that's passionate about trying to invest my money and passionate about how money really works. And, you know, money works harder than you. We just need to find out where to put our money at, right? Hey, didn't mean to keep you too long. I know I had promised that I was going to do a video on Ethereum, and this is that video. Hey, you know how this goes. I'm the marvelous one, the stock man. Peace.